It's very good. But there are problems. Violin, you're far too aggressive. Show some finesse. Work with your partner, not against him. It's a sonata, not a duel. Piano, I don't care if you're an entering freshman. It's far too tentative. This is Beethoven, not some new age background music. Take charge.
Take charge. Me, David Lindenbaum, freshman piano major, just 1 month here, high holy days over, told to take charge.
You've reached the desk of Avram Lindenbaum. Please leave a message.
Dad, just wanted to wish you a Chag Sameach and tell you everything's going good so far. I'm settling in. They've got a kosher dining hall. They put up a nice sukkah at the Hillel. Plus, my roommate's pretty nice. I went out for track. I'm taking 16 credits, English, chemistry, music, history, materials of music, and piano. Oh, and remember, I told you we could indicate our top 3 choices for major teacher. So I thought I'd never get my first choice, Professor Tomansky, who's supposed to be the best in the school, and she takes very few students. But I auditioned for her first week, and she accepted me.
That's good. That's very, very good. Most students just bulldoze their way through that piece. You show some signs of musicality. So, Mr.
Lindenbaum, David Lindenbaum.
Lindenbaum, German for linden or lime tree. As I'm sure you know, Schubert wrote a song called Der Lindenbaum in the Winterreise.
Actually, I'm just a piano major.
Mr. Lindenbaum, you must expand your musical horizons. Not even Chopin wrote exclusively for the piano. Very well. There are some technical deficiencies, but I'll take you on. And for your first lesson Monday, bring me the Mozart A minor sonata and the Chopin Nocturne in G. Memorized, of course.
That's just 3 days. I don't know if I could.
This isn't high school, young man. And I'll start you soon on some Schoenberg or Bartók.
Aren't they really modern and dissonant?
We'll find you something not too frightening. And have you played any chamber music?
Not really.
Each incoming student must prepare a piece of chamber music for a faculty committee. Then the top groups advance to the freshman showcase just before Thanksgiving. Very prestigious event. Reviews, critics always sold out. You see that young lady? Elena Guerriero, a sophomore in violin. I was looking to pair 2 students on one of the Mozarts, but I think you could handle the Kreutzer. You know it?
Sorry.
You will now. The most virtuosic of all the Beethoven violin sonatas. It's difficult for the pianist as any of the concertos. So for preliminaries, we want the first movement. Brief adagio introduction, then presto, fast and furious. If you're in one of the top groups, you prepare the entire work.
Thank you, Professor.
Don't let me down. Elena, I found you a pianist. And listen to the Winterreise.
Not bad, freshman.
Not bad yourself, soft woman. We take the repeat?
Maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, once we get the hang of what Szymanski was asking, I think we are pretty much in sync.
Szymanski's an old fart. She should have been put out to pasture 10 years ago. We'll be fine without Szymanski. And she's totally wrong. The piece is a duel.
Okay, but it's just that I want to make a good impression on my professors.
Don't worry about it.
You're in my materials class too, right? If you're a sophomore, why are you taking a freshman class?
Because it's required, and I didn't declare violin until this semester. I wasted all last year majoring in philosophy.
They didn't teach that at my school.
Yeah, be grateful. Philosophy's bullshit anyway. Plato, Aristotle, do we exist? Do we not exist? Each one thinks the other's an asshole. I can't believe that I read all that shit, or at least the Cliff Notes. Once you figure out their mental masturbation, you just light a joint, bang out your little 3-pager, throw in a conclusion about how each one's partly right, partly wrong, and then you get an easy A.
At least music exists.
Tell that to Berkeley. Dude thinks everything's a figment in the mind of God, who probably doesn't exist either.
I believe God exists. So you went from one major that won't get you a job to another.
Maybe I can hang around the train station bumming for change to pay my loans while I'm sawing away on the Bach Chaconne. Not all of us are on full scholarship, you know. That's cute on your head. You wear that all the time?
It's not cute. It's a Jewish man's reminder that God is always above him.
Yay, don't get so heavy with the theology.
My religion is important to me.
It's cool. Friends?
Friends. Anyway, you don't have to wear it while you're sleeping, but I do. I take it off only in the shower.
It's still cute. Like its owner.
Lena kisses David lightly on the cheek, then runs off.
Nothing awes a parent more than the thought your son might be a wunderkind. How did my wife and I conceive this extraordinary, precious person when we might have begotten a perfectly nice, ordinary child destined for preparing taxes?
At least he'd earn a living.
No doubt. My other children will grow to be fine people. Rachel wants to be a doctor. The twins, Yaakov and Moshe, are natural athletes, and such comedians, Rebekah is certain they were trading jokes all 9 months in the womb. But with David, there was this special spark of sunshine from the day he was born. At 4, he could play his mother's lullabies on the piano. At 5, our cantor gave him lessons, but by 7, the poor man had nothing to teach him. Then at 8, we found the best in the area, Jonah Solomon. David was playing the Chopin A-flat Polonaise. And Solomon noted the relaxation of his left hand during the middle section, calling it a sign of natural technique others only strive to achieve. I took him also to symphony, opera, piano recitals, less for my own pleasure than to watch the intense concentration on his youthful features. And so after 10 years with Solomon, why not send him on full scholarship to one of the best music programs in the country? Huh? But Rebekah didn't see it. Or rather, she saw, but she did not see.
Sometimes I go home for the weekend, where the conversation as often as not is about me, by which I mean about and not necessarily including me.
So he plays the piano, a hobby, and he runs on the track team, a sport. But first, he must be a good Jew.
Which about sums it up.
No, that does not sum it up, Avram. And don't ridicule me, because all these things are frills. Because one day this boy will be a man. One day he must provide for a family. And who's going to hire him to run around a track or play goyish music on the piano?
He has a gift.
What parent thinks otherwise?
You, for one.
If he doesn't get all A's this semester, he must major in something else.
He'll lose his scholarship.
Then we'll put him in the Hebrew Academy, which is nearly free, and he'll be with his own people.
Might as well have been 50 miles away. Hey, guys, don't I get a say in this? I like being at school. I like my teachers. I like making new friends.
You don't want to live with your parents?
Rebekah.
Not when you fight like this. I mean, Dad thinks I'm the next Horowitz, and you think I'm a total loser. I don't know what to believe anymore.
David, honor your father and your mother.
Which one do I honor when you're always contradicting each other?
You figure it out.
So, we made an agreement. I could stay in school as a piano major if I got A's in all my music courses this semester.
All A's in all of his courses this entire year.
All A's in music first semester, Rebekah. He's taking chemistry. He'll flunk.
It's always better when I get back to school.
David is sitting on his bed, and his roommate Terry is lying on his in their dorm room.
So, we're doing this sonata by Beethoven called the Kreutzer.
Why is it called the Kreutzer?
Because that was the guy he dedicated it to, some violinist named Kreutzer. Actually, it was originally dedicated to another violinist, this guy Bridgetower, but he and Beethoven had a fight.
So that's the way these classical dudes do things. They dedicate it to someone and then they have a fight?
Just this time. Point is, we're doing this sonata with this girl, Elena, and me.
Ah, now we're getting interesting. Tell me about this girl.
Well, first, she's got perfect intonation.
What the fuck is intonation?
Intonation is, you know when you're playing the piano, every note is in tune? With a violin, you have to put your finger exactly in the right place on the string.
Yeah?
And then she's got this incredible vibrato, which is like, for greater expression, the finger or wrist rocks gently back and forth on the string. No, never mind. But it's also like the piece has all these sections where you speed up, slow down, take little pauses.
Fuck.
And it's as if we know exactly what the other is thinking. Like, we don't have to say a word. It's just like every move, we're one person.
Oh, shit.
Terry, look out the window. That's her sitting on the bench outside.
That one? That's the one, you mean, that's the chick you've been playing music with?
Yeah, Elena.
Holy shit. Oh my fucking God, dude, look, she's bending over.
Will you stop being so obvious? I don't want her to think we're staring at her.
I don't mind. She must know where your room is. She's waving at you and smiling. Way to go, man. You Jews have all the luck.
My father was born in this country, and he tells me he has never experienced anti-Semitism in his dealings with Americans, by which he means that he who does not feel persecuted is not persecuted, unlike my mother, for whom "have a nice day" is automatic proof of religious intolerance. But my father also said that one day in Berlin, he was riding the subway towards the Brandenburg Gate when a group of old military men boarded the train, laughing and joking. And my father felt an uncontrollable wave of panic at the thought they might have been Nazi stormtroopers. 6 million killed in the Holocaust, hated by Christians for killing their Christ, synagogues torched, Torahs destroyed, tiny Israel surrounded by hostile Arab neighbors, shootings in Pittsburgh and San Diego, a hostage situation near Dallas. Terry reads this in his books, and he learns it from the news and his history classes. But Terry hasn't had half his relatives sent to the gas chambers. Right. We Jews have all the luck.
In a cafe, David and Elena get ice cream.
They have this really good bacon cherry pistachio.
Sorry, not something I can eat.
So pick out the bacon bits.
Still not kosher. I'll stick with the chocolate chip.
Way to go, Frosh. Live dangerously.
See, I went to a very small, sheltered boys' high school, a Masifta. All the standard subjects, but also a lot of halacha, that's Jewish law. My dad wanted me to come here because of the music program, but my mom wanted me to go to a Jewish university. So she's always saying, what if he eats treif? What if they ask him to perform on Shabbat? What if he goes to dangerous places? Theaters, museums.
Practice rooms. Most dangerous of all alone in a 10-by-8 cell playing Beethoven with a pretty girl. Just fact. I'm not being conceited. I mean, you think I'm pretty, right, David? Such enthusiasm. Well, if you want to explore dangerous places, you're welcome to stay over anytime. My housemates are very understanding.
You're going too fast for me.
First movement, slow introduction, then presto, fast and furious. I bet you're circumcised.
Whoa! Is anything off limits with you? Of course I'm circumcised. It's a covenant a Jewish man has with God.
So this is a package deal. I thought I was getting a pianist. I'm also getting a rabbi. They say uncut guys have a lot more sensation down there.
I wouldn't know. There's no way I can find out. Can we not talk about this?
You mean the partial amputation of your baby wiener without your knowledge or consent? Well, I think it's barbaric, tribal, primitive, like the way they cut clitorises off of women in Africa to deprive them of sexual pleasure.
The things aren't remotely similar.
Yes, they are. Your religion ought to be ashamed.
You shouldn't criticize other people's religions.
All religions are ridiculous, Catholics included. It's just a way for people to start wars and be tribal. But I'd still sleep with you. Don't look so scared, little boy. I'm not going to cut your dick off. You lost enough for that the first week you were born. You won't believe this, but when I was in Catholic school walking around with my tie and pleated skirt, I was this mousy little thing, Coke bottle glasses, who just spent all her time practicing Paganini caprices until her bow arm fell off. Reading does a lot for you. So does contact lenses and filling out in all the right places so the cute boys notice you. I'm not ashamed. 15 years of being a good girl went out the window one night with Alex Marino. Okay, if God exists, why did she make it so nice to be with someone only to be told it's a sin by these nuns who will die a virgin and priests who keep hugging the hot guys on the shoulder and checking out their butts? And then if you're a girl and you enjoy it, they call you a slut. One of my favorite books is Gulliver's Travels, which maybe you think is like this children's book about an island of little people. But really, it's about the English Protestants fighting the French Catholics over which side of their eggs to break. In other words, it's about nothing with a half a dozen wars as a result, which sums up what I think about religion: repression, hypocrisy, tribalism. So don't act all holy and innocent, David, when we both know what you really want. Say what you want to my face, but dreams don't lie.
David's dorm room. David's dreams. Night. David lies asleep, still wearing his yarmulke, and dreaming of the slow movement of the Kreutzer. Terry is asleep in the other bed. Elena enters and dances slowly with David. Brushing her hand against David's cheek as she tosses his yarmulke on the bed. Elena retreats into darkness, leaving David alone.
Dude, you're being ridiculous. You're into her. She's into you. What's the big deal? Just do the deed. Enjoy yourself. You afraid some friggin' rabbi's gonna walk in?
I'm supposed to save myself for marriage with someone of my own faith to preserve Jewish laws and customs.
Who's talking marriage? Man, if I had a girl like that hitting on me.
Accidents happen. The mother must be Jewish for this child to be Jewish.
So wear protection. And knowing you wouldn't just wear a condom. You'd wear a condom over your condom, like double bagging at the grocery store. Come on, Dave. It was a joke.
Not funny. And my name isn't Dave. It's David. Or David. That's my Hebrew name.
All right, David. Look, I'm trying not to judge, but this religion of yours, it's not just you can't have fun with girls. You can't do anything without committing some kind of a mortal sin. All this stuff about food and it's
Sir, is this still about the spaghetti sauce?
Right, it's about the spaghetti sauce. My mom spent a whole afternoon making that sauce for you. When I told her use beef but no pork, and you still wouldn't eat it?
It's not just the pork. There are a lot of rules for it to be kosher.
So she didn't know. All these rules, and you don't care whose feelings you hurt.
I wasn't trying to hurt anybody's feelings. My mom says...
Spaghetti sauce some Goyish woman makes for you?
With beef, no pork.
With beef. What beef, David? Where did it come from?
I don't know. The Piggly Wiggly, maybe.
Not acceptable. The animal must be slaughtered by a shochet, using the correct technique and a very sharp knife.
Mom, I know this.
You know, but you overlook because you're trying to make nice with this goy. And so to continue, after slaughter, the tripha nerves and fat are removed.
Great, but anyway.
And the carcass is inspected for imperfections and salted to extract the blood. Finally, the meat must be cooked in a pot reserved for meat, with utensils reserved for meat, and served on plates reserved for meat.
Man, that is so complicated. How do you guys even stay alive? And then all that other stuff you can't eat, lobster, shrimp, bacon, pepperoni. What kid goes through college without living on pepperoni pizza?
Don't forget camel.
Camel?
Not kosher.
But David, I like camel. Give me one good reason you can't eat a camel.
Something about the hooves, the cud. It's a commandment. It's in the Torah.
Your whole life is commandments and the Torah. Like the time Bobby's dad got us tickets to the game and you couldn't take the train because it was Friday night. And then I come back and you're sitting in the dark because you can't turn the lights off or on.
You using electricity on Shabbat is like starting a fire.
Using electricity is not going to burn the house down.
The light bulb creates heat and light. Forbidden work, like cooking or writing or even practicing piano.
It's a light switch. Up, down, up, down. What's the work? Is there anything you actually can do on Shabbat?
When you're married.
Oh, that's why you keep the lights off. But you're not supposed to enjoy it, are you?
Of course we're supposed to enjoy it. And it's not why we keep the lights off. I said that because it's the only thing a dumbass like you would understand.
So now I'm a dumbass.
Sometimes.
Hey, anybody can be smart. It takes a real genius to be a moron.
Look, this isn't working. You should just find another roommate.
All right, if that's what you want.
No, that's what you want.
Who's going to room with you? It's not everyone whose mom will make you spaghetti sauce you won't eat.
I'll talk to Shlomo down the hall.
Great. So you can both sit in the dark on Friday nights. The chosen people. Way to go, Dave. Run away from your problems.
What problems? I don't have any problems.
Problems relating to anyone different. Problems getting beyond your own little world. You ever think about anybody else, Dave? You go with Shlomo, and I get stuck with his roommate, Mike Garbowski, the missing link who hasn't taken a shower in 6 years.
Mom, Dad, what do I do?
Plus, he snores.
You stay away from the Goyim, and that's all you need to know.
You find a way to live in the real world like a mensch.
And you will be out of the school next semester. I don't care about your grades. Look how the Goy makes fun. Marriage with Gentiles, kashrut, Shabbat. Of all things, this is where it begins, David. Intolerance, anti-Semitism. One day it's spaghetti sauce and jokes about Shabbat. Next thing, it's defacing synagogues, destroying Torahs, vandalizing cemeteries.
Rebekah, the roommate is not going to topple over gravestones.
You don't know that.
Yes, I do. The boy's not prejudiced. He's asking reasonable questions. Is our faith so fragile someone can't ask why we don't use a phone on Shabbat?
We are not put here to question God's commandments, but to obey them. And you will go to the housing office tomorrow and find a Jewish roommate.
He will do no such thing.
Mom!
Rebekah!
Man, when they start talking Hungarian,
It's not...
it's the Hindustani. What's it going to be, Dov?
In Masifta, we were taught that honor your father and mother was the most difficult commandment. So when my mom told me to split up with Terry, even though I was breaking a sacred commandment, I took a deep breath and said, no, Mom, I can't. I won't.
Okay, I won't bug you about the food. I'll turn the lights off on Friday nights, but David, Dave, whatever. You're a good roommate. You bathe. You play the piano, all this good stuff. But you think you can lighten up and be a little less Jewish?
How can I be a little less Jewish? That would be like being 2 inches taller or changing my eye color or having 9 fingers on my right hand, which would make fingering the Chopin C major etude a lot easier. Still, I keep writing my awesome, oversexed, goyish doofus of a roommate a letter in my mind about why I'm a Jew, when I don't know why it should matter, except he's this perfect, generic, all-American middle-class wasp, and I'm the outsider who's supposed to care only about money and who goes around in a yarmulke and tzitzit saying oy vey all day long. I want him to know how being a Jew is not about pepperoni pizza or light switches. It's about loving God and keeping his commandments. It's about saying the Shema twice a day and touching the mezuzah. It's about studying halacha all night for my next shiur at school and getting my mind blown by Rev Teitelbaum arguing a fine point of Talmud for 2 hours. It's about looking forward to a happy family and a happy marriage. When a man is told that physical pleasure with his wife, yeah, that's right, Terry, is the most sacred bond between 2 Jewish people. It's about heritage and ritual and ancestry and all the traditions of the faith my mother, above all others, has instilled in me.
David, you must also tell him about the holidays, how they shape and give purpose to the week, the year, the life. Lighting the candles, reciting the Kaddish, uncovering the challah, each Shabbat.
Hearing the shofar and eating apples and honey on Rosh Hashanah.
Decorating the sukkah, waving the etrog and lulav on Sukkot.
Lighting the menorah, eating the latkes, giving presents on Hanukkah.
wearing costumes, giving tzedakah, and eating hamantashen on Purim.
Your hamantashen, Mom. My favorite, the poppy seed.
Selling the komets, assembling the Seder plate, eating matzah, and laughing at the twins fighting over who will ask the Manishtana each Pesach.
Moshe usually wins.
Because he's 13 minutes younger.
Even welcoming the high solemnity of Yom Kippur and fasting all day so I can atone for my sins and go through the year feeling cleansed and renewed. And above all, it's assuming the awesome responsibility of realizing that this is the one true God, Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad, who has chosen our people not because we're superior, but because he expects so much more from us than any others. And this, Terry, is why I am a Jew.
That's good, dude. You ought to say stuff like that more often.
But I didn't want Terry to room with Mike Garbowski, the missing link, either. So I wrote his mom, thanking her, but hoping she'd understand why I couldn't eat the spaghetti sauce. It was the hardest letter I'd ever written, because how can you turn down spaghetti sauce without appearing ungrateful? But because Terry Mom collects elephant figures, I went to the museum and bought her a Hindu Ganesha, the elephant god of good luck. Hope she likes it.
Piece by Pachyderm. Very professional, Dave, but let me get this straight. An uptight Jewish kid, too scared to get his dick wet, banging the foxiest Catholic chick on the planet, buys a statue of a Hindu elephant god for his spaghetti sauce making, which, by the way, he won't eat, Lutheran roommate's mom. Dude, no wonder you're so fucked up.
It is hard to explain a loss of faith unless one never had any faith to begin with. Even at my bar mitzvah chanting the Haftorah, I knew my faith had started to erode. But to this day, I've kept up appearances, going to shul, Shabbat, keeping kosher, Yom Kippur. So much revolves around food. Working in a trade for a Fortune 500, I travel often. And it started at a dinner in Paris, where to refuse the food offered would have been not only impolite, but it could have cost me a contract, possibly my job. Monsieur, I was assured, this cuisine is strictly kosher. And what cuisine? A duck pate, tornadoes rossini with pomme soufflé, endive walnut pear salad, baba arum fine wines. And all of this is kosher, I said. He with a shrug. But that's perhaps. I got the contract, a promotion, a nice raise. But I knew I had crossed a line I could never go back. Yet there are times I wish I could have faith. My Rebekah has faith. My David has faith. Why can I not?
Ready, you two?
Still having nightmares about the passage in broken octaves.
Stop worrying. Is this another Jew thing? Oh God, here she goes with another 3-hour introduction.
The so-called Kreutzer, Opus 47 in A major, is the most famous, virtuosic, and elaborate of Beethoven's 10 sonatas for violin and piano. Composed in 1803 during Beethoven's middle period, when he broke decisively from the more restrained language of Haydn and Mozart to find his own voice.
Oh God, hurry up. I really have to pee.
It's interesting.
Composed in the opening movement, which you will hear performed by Elena Guerriero and David Lindenbaum, is notable for its passion and headlong momentum. The work has also inspired a novel by Leo Tolstoy, a quartet by Janusz Leos Janacek, and supposedly a new American play. Excuse me, who or what are you?
Terry Michaels, roommate extraordinaire, president and founder of the David Lindenbaum Society for Hindu Elephant Statues and Non-Kosher Spaghetti Sauce.
Fuck, I wet my pants.
All right. Sit quietly in the back, if you can. And now, would you please all welcome Elena and David?
So how did it go?
It went.
I thought it was pretty good.
What do you know?
Were we right to skip the repeats?
Look, David, it was a 10-minute performance of one movement to one Beethoven sonata in front of 50 students, half a dozen lard-ass professors, and your doofus of a roommate.
Whoa, back off.
Okay, I'm just deal with it. It was nothing special, no big deal. Just a Kreutzer sonata, 1 out of 1,000, run-of-the-mill.
I liked it.
Thanks, Terry.
You, Dean Fioffi's office, tomorrow at 10.
Yes, sir.
And now that that person has gone, in fact, in the opinion of the committee and myself, that was not just any run-of-the-mill Kreutzer, but a very special and memorable one. And since you both had the highest marks from your section, you will perform the entire sonata for the freshman showcase next month. Mr. Lindenbaum, you will also play the Mendelssohn Andante and Rondo Capriccioso. You realize Felix Mendelssohn was the grandson of Moses Mendelssohn, the leading Jewish philosopher in the 18th century Germany.
I didn't know.
Of course not. And Miss Guerriero, you will do the Bach Chaconne.
Sounds like we're a team again.
Whoopee.
You have reached the desk of Avram Lindenbaum. I will be traveling until November 20th. Please leave a message.
Dad, this is big news. I'm going to be in the freshman showcase, doing the Beethoven Kreutzer Sonata, and a solo too. So it's the Sunday afternoon before Thanksgiving, and I want the whole family to come. Please call back, Dad. I need to talk to you. Mom, how can I reach Dad? Is it like international?
Oh, he never tells me. I think it's London a few days, then Berlin. Ugh, of all places for a Jew.
He has to go where they send him. Will he be home before Thanksgiving?
I don't know. I'll let him know you called.
No, wait, because I'm playing this in this freshman showcase 2 weeks from now, and me and this violinist. It's a Sunday afternoon.
David, we can't fit everyone in one car, and it's 3 hours each way.
How about the train?
5 hours, David. And you know I don't like that music you play. And who's this fiddler?
Just a girl in my class.
A girl? What's her name? Is she Jewish?
It's Eleanor Goldberg. Mency told us to take the repeat.
Not if it means 3 more minutes with you.
Take it from the top of the development.
You know I don't do that theory shit.
Just after the second ending, then. Jesus, you're a musician. You have to learn the vocabulary.
Jesus, is this coming from you?
It's just an expression. How are we going to get through this?
Grin and bear it, pal. Grin and bear it.
Elena, can we talk a minute?
All you do is talk.
I don't understand. We weren't fighting 3 weeks ago. You even gave me a little kiss.
You figure it out. Jews are smart.
You stop with the Jew talk. I told you, there can't be anything between us.
Which is why you can't take your eyes off of me. You think I don't know what you want, but you're so uptight. You're such a good little Jewish boy when really you're just afraid.
Stop, please.
Stop, please. Touch me.
I can't.
Show me your hair. Can you show me all of your hair and take that off?
Don't touch it.
You can miss.
I have to go.
You can miss it this once, okay? No one's around. Don't be afraid. It won't hurt. You'll see it's nice. Please. Please just stay.
Guerriero, a minute, please. David Lindenbaum.
Fuck. What now?
Have you seen him recently?
What, poor little puppy lost?
Were there any problems between you two?
Nothing special. He's a little high strung. Old violinist joke.
If he doesn't turn up, you might need another pianist for the Beethoven.
A week before the date. That's like starting all over again.
I agree.
He's the best in the freshman class.
One of the best. How about Amanda Schiffler?
No technique.
Her Schumann Fantasy is excellent. But Tommy Garcia. Marissa Leone's done the piece. Very well. But first we have to find him. And when you do, Elena, go easy on the religion thing. He's quite sensitive.
Tell me about it.
Professor?
Where have you been? 2 lessons missed. You know more than one unexcused absence means a full letter from your final grade. I can't make any exceptions, even for my best students, which means the best you can get from me is a B. And here we are, a week before the showcase.
Professor, I'm sorry. I can't play the sonata with Elena.
You're telling me this now?
I didn't think it mattered that much.
The hell it doesn't matter. I've got programs printed, tickets sold, events all over social media. I rescheduled from Friday evening to Sunday specifically for your sake.
Perhaps you can find someone else. Actually, I'm thinking of transferring to another school, dropping out of music, maybe getting a business degree like my mom wants.
Who gives a damn what your mom wants? Let her get a business degree.
Don't even know who I can talk to.
Whom I can talk to.
But you're a professor.
Only associate, Mr. Lindenbaum. If I were full, I'd be totally inhuman.
I don't feel I fit in here.
Who does?
I mean being Jewish.
Try being Muslim. Or the gay, or even more the transgender kids. Even the kids in chess club have their issues.
My parents are always fighting over me. I'm practicing 5 hours a day and getting nowhere. Plus, I'm flunking chemistry, my roommate and I get in these ridiculous arguments, and then there's Elena.
So, because you're having conflicts with your violinist and your roommate and your Bunsen burner, you've got cause to cancel a performance for which we selected you over 50 other deserving, resentful, jealous students. You must understand, Mr. Lindenbaum, we take 10% of the pianists who apply here. And out of those, 3 are offered a full scholarship. So this isn't all about you, David. And if you're going to embarrass me or the department or the school by not honoring your commitment, well, I'm sure you can find one of your 613 Jewish mitzvahs that must apply somehow.
Hey, yarmulke boy, what's your problem?
What do you mean, what's my problem?
Don't act innocent. You tell me why Tomaine said you wanted to get out of playing with me?
She shouldn't have. And when you stop calling the professor that, I was brought up to treat my teachers with respect.
She is poison, David. Tomaine poison. Because she sucks the life out of music, and all she cares about is dates and facts.
I know her a lot better than you do, and that's not true at all.
Yeah? There's a lot you don't know, okay? Like, why did she never make full professor? Why did half of her majors switch to something else? She's such a demeaning bitch. And the drinking? Okay, so the other day she comes up to me and she's like, do you want to find someone more compatible?
I thought that's what you wanted.
Don't flatter yourself, okay? I don't care what happened between you and I. You're the one with the chops to play this thing. There's going to be a lot of important people there, people who could help my career. So, you and me, we're going to play the hell out of this piece, and you're going to make me look good. And I'm going to make you look good because you're playing with me.
What do you mean you can't come? Dad, this is important to me.
David, I have to work.
On a Sunday?
Yes, a Sunday. I have a deadline before Thanksgiving.
What about Mom? Rachel, the twins, Grandpa?
They couldn't get there unless I drove. Can't you make a recording I'll listen to on the way to work?
It's not the same thing.
David, I've heard you play many times. I can't get to every recital.
But you'll be home for Thanksgiving.
I'll be home for Thanksgiving. David, I have a meeting now.
You always have a meeting.
We'll go on stage, we'll play the sonata, and then we'll go our separate ways.
Fine.
Fine.
I have one question. Do we take the repeats in the first and third movements or not?
You figure it out.
Dude, you were so fucking amazing. Get out there. They're screaming for you. Did you know that's my roommate? Am I supposed to take a bow too?
No, dumbass.
Of course, the decision to include the repeats in a piece of music is something the players must agree upon beforehand. Otherwise, the performance can fall into total chaos, with each playing a different section of the piece. Had I understood the tension between these two, I would have certainly given my orders. But fortunately, the Kreutzer is one piece where the violinist can cue her intentions on the spot, and neither performer missed a beat.
I I'm sure that not telling me about the repeats was Elena's final game. Her way of keeping me on my toes until the last minute. But I was ready for anything. And I was mainly concerned about the page turner, who happened to be Terry. Which took some finagling, because Professor Tomansky wanted him expelled, and the dean nearly put him on probation, until Terry charmed the pants off everybody, and so he was allowed to turn pages, even though he can't read music, and he only got 3 of the turns right anyway. I'm sure he just volunteered only for an unobstructed view of Elena's chest.
I'm just glad it is over.
Sorry, was I supposed to turn pages or something? Oh man, the way she was moving and swaying up there. I swear she was looking at me the whole time. Dave, talk about blowing your golden chances.
Spartan quarters you got there.
Bed, desk, dresser, closet. All I need.
How's the roommate?
He's Lutheran, but we get along. Sort of. That was him turning for me today. I think he just wanted a good view of Elena.
Elena, your violinist. Very pretty girl.
I guess.
Reminds me of your mother when we first met. Would you take her out?
Dad, she's Catholic.
Just a movie and ice cream. You don't have to marry her.
We had some issues. Anyway, thanks for coming. I wasn't expecting you.
I cleared my schedule.
What about Mom?
Couldn't find a sitter.
Probably wouldn't have come anyway.
Probably not. Except for the fun of tongue-lashing me again for supporting your music. I was right to send you here. People were raving about your Beethoven. The Mendelssohn even more. The difference in your tone and phrasing from just 6 months ago.
You don't know the pressure. The competition. The texts and voicemails when I was selected. How was it smooching Tomansky's ass? And you're dead, Jew boy. I never asked for this.
Professional jealousy of any field.
And what if I go through 4 years of this and I fail?
What if you succeed? Tomansky sees talent like yours once in 10 years.
She says that to every parent.
No, she doesn't.
Dad, Tomansky thinks I play for shit. One day, we spent half an hour on 8 bars from Waldstein. Last time I did the Mendelssohn, it was, I suppose it will have to do.
Because she's pushing you to excel. Because with the others, she's going through the motions so she can collect her paycheck. And she swore me to silence on this, but I'm telling you anyway.
It doesn't matter, because the best I can get from her is a B. Then Mom will pull me out of school.
Don't worry about it.
I missed 2 classes.
I said, don't worry about it. Now, isn't that roast duck a lot better than your meatloaf on campus? One of the best kosher restaurants in the country and an hour from your school.
It's okay.
A lot better than okay. You never realized food could taste like this.
It's just fuel.
David, what is bothering you? I know you're tired.
Exhausted.
You said nothing in the car. You're getting more surly by the minute.
Why do you always put Mom down? Her food is filling. Her desserts are good.
Adequate.
And this was my big day. Even if Mom couldn't come. Grandpa likes music. Rachel's old enough. The twins would sit quietly.
There were complications.
Complications? And who was that lady you were talking to? In the blue shirt?
Someone I just struck up a conversation with. Actually, a coworker.
Who just happened to be here.
She's very musical. I wanted her to hear you.
So, was it a conversation or you asked her? Then the way she touched you on the arm.
Shit.
Tell me!
David, my girlfriend.
Fuck!
Keep your voice down. Whoa, where are you going?
School!
47 miles?
Oh, thumb.
Sunday night, middle of nowhere. Sit down. She's my associate at work, Carolyn.
I don't care about her name.
David, please. I will always love your mother. Your mother is a beautiful woman.
Beautiful. That's all that matters? Thou shalt not commit adultery.
I know the commandments.
Is she at least Jewish?
Episcopal.
You're taking up with a goy?
With another person. Can't you see that?
No.
Then it's time you should.
Does Mom know?
She took it better than expected. Actually seemed relieved.
You planning to tell the rest of us?
At Hanukkah. Then, by New Year's Eve, I'll move in with Carolyn and grant your mother a get. She gets the house and custody. She continues working at shul. I provide all additional support.
What if she gets lonely?
She's already lonely. Now she can meet someone new.
Oh, so simple with you. As usual. What about the family? All you care about is yourself.
David, I held this family together as long as I could. I was a good provider. Your piano lessons, Rachel's ballet, the twins' gymnastics.
Yeah, maybe you should have provided less and spent more time with us.
What for? Yaakov despises me. Moshe is indifferent. Rachel, I don't even know. And the girl I married 20 years ago turned to stone. But you can't blame me for the divorce. Your mother asked me for that long before Carolyn. And there's more.
More.
I've resigned my committees at shul. I'm leaving the congregation. In fact, I'm leaving the faith. Shabbat, Yom Kippur, Kashrut, no more of that. Hanukkah presents, and that's it. I worked 12 hours yesterday.
Shabbat!
So I could see you today. As for Kashrut, only at home the past 10 years to pacify your mother.
Cuisine here is strictly kosher. Perhaps.
Give me one good reason you can't eat a camel.
All these lies.
Oh, and pepperoni pizza.
And you never lie.
This fiddler, what's her name? Eleanor Goldberg?
I'm surprised you even came. When you could have spent all day fucking your shiksa. And don't hit me!
I have never hit my children. And that shiksa, as you call her, is my life partner, who drove up with me and is now on a train back home. And I can't tell you how impressed she was by my son and his playing.
What does she know?
Well, she graduated from the school as a cellist. You'll meet her. Soon.
Never.
Thanksgiving. Her home. I want you to come.
No way.
You will come to Carolyn's home this Thursday, and you'll accept her as the woman your father has chosen to share the rest of his life with.
You can't order me around like a little kid anymore. I don't know who you are. You look like my father. You sound like my father, but you're this whole other person.
David, don't be so melodramatic. Like it or not, I'm the only father you got. And a damned sight better at the job than your tyrant of a grandfather ever was.
Now you're putting down Grandpa.
Well, grandparents always love their grandchildren more than their own. They have all the fun without having to change the diapers. Now, eat your dessert. I've got a long drive home.
I don't want it.
David, stop acting like a child and show some respect to the pastry chef who created that work of art especially for you? Will you at least accept my gift? All right. I'll take you back to the dormitory. She has a very nice piano.
David, who is normally never at a loss for words, is finding it difficult to speak just now, so I will step in to articulate his feelings. Naturally, the sense of betrayal and disillusionment with his father was overwhelming. Fortunately, he didn't smash any of our expensive Steinways or Bosendorfers. But the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, I saw him in a practice room, hunched over his piano, crying. I thought it best not to interfere.
I didn't really expect him, but out of curiosity or spite, David did show up at Carolyn's house for Thanksgiving. Naturally, he sulked in the corner, silent, refusing to eat, though I caught him sneaking a few hors d'oeuvres from the buffet.
I'm supposed to make happy talk with all these goyim.
David, I'd like your opinion on the Bechstein. Does the B above middle C sound right? I have it tuned 4 times a year, but I really can't tell.
Twice a year is enough.
David, don't be rude.
It needs voicing. Your tech should have a tool to soften the felts. If not, find somebody who knows what they're doing.
You?
I'm not going to fool around with a 30,000 Bechstein C.
Play for us.
I don't think so.
Please.
David, what are you working on? Beethoven Opus 109? Just the start of the 3rd movement.
That'll only give me a sense of the middle register. Let me start the 1st movement. Oh man, that B. I'll go in a little. But otherwise, it's an incredible piano. Better than most at school. 10 times better than our sophomore at home.
I've told you I'm upgrading your piano. After New Year's, we'll go to the showrooms.
But until then, I'll give you my key. You can play here anytime.
Not such a great idea.
You know, my best cello days are over. But I'd love to do the Beethoven A major with you someday.
I love that one. I did it with Jason Segretti for his junior recital.
Before you go back?
I don't know.
David, that's a very good idea.
And would you please join us for turkey and stuffing? We catered the dinner. How do you say it? Kosher. Just for you.
Oh, Mike, thanks for inviting me.
You said that 62 times already.
Didn't know if you heard me. See, they usually don't go away for Christmas, but this being their 20th anniversary, they,
Cool. It's cool.
Never been in a Jewish house before.
Just like yours? Walls, floor, windows, doors, a ceiling.
But it's got like this Old Testament vibe. I don't feel welcome here.
Everyone is welcome here.
See?
Sometimes I don't either.
So come over to my place.
Tomorrow, after Havdalah. Then I can ride in the car again, and we'll go for Chinese.
Why Chinese?
Because it's Christmas.
Weird.
Mischievous conspiracy of the calendar this year. Christmas Eve and Erev Hanukkah, both on Erev Shabbat. Terrence, I hear your parents are visiting Paris now. Extraordinary city. I can recommend some restaurants.
Thanks, Mr. L, but my folks wouldn't want anything kosher.
Precisely why I'm recommending them. And what do your parents do?
My mom's a nurse. My dad's a minister. That's why I don't believe in God.
Very sensible.
So that's your, oh man, she hates me.
She doesn't hate you.
Why is he calling me Terrence? They only call me that when I'm grounded.
Terrence. It's a nice name. Goes with your eyes.
Yeah?
So, David, this is your friend. I hope you understand why my son could not accept a gift of food from your mother.
You must be David's twin sister. See?
She's Shomer Nagia. She can't touch any male outside the family. But go on, you can talk to her. Mom, this is my roommate, Terry.
Terry Michaels, Mrs. L, at your service. Distinguished roommate, page turner extraordinaire, president and founder of the David Lindenbaum Society for Hindu Elephant Statues and Non-Kosher Spaghetti Sauce, and official #1 fan of the Beethoven Kreutzer Sonata. Also, destroyer of synagogues, burner of Torahs, and Class A anti-Semite.
David, you should have consulted with me before inviting this person into my house.
Mom, it's Christmas.
Christmas.
His parents are away. I don't want him to be alone.
Rebekah, be civil.
My husband is leaving me for a shiksa. There's a Gentile in my house, and he's asking me to be civil.
Yes, I am. We are not going to discuss our personal problems in front of a guest.
Guest.
Man, did I fuck that up?
Could have been worse.
And how long will this person be staying, David?
See?
Sorry I'm late. There were such few trains, so I had to grab a cab.
I invited her.
So young, Avram.
Mom, this isn't Dad's shiksa.
This is David's shiksa, his violin partner and date for the evening.
Dad?
Whose idea was it?
What about Eleanor Goldberg?
Who's Eleanor Goldberg?
I can explain.
You'd better, David.
Hi.
2 goyim in this house. Will there be any others?
Fortunately, for peace on earth and goodwill towards men, my shiksa is across the country visiting her parents.
Hopefully her flight home will be canceled. Permanently.
Mom!
I will not have that woman in my house.
This is still my house. Bought with my earnings, and until I move out, I decide who's welcome here. You have a problem with that, Rebekah?
I thought my parents were insane.
They're having some problems.
I can't stay long. The only reason I came is because your dad seemed cool, and I was a little curious on how you lived. But we goys...
Goyim.
Okay. Yeah, we have our own holiday rituals. Mainly just going to the city all night and getting totally wasted. But why don't you come with me? Live a little.
Sorry, Shabbat.
Again? They never give you a week off?
52 weeks a year. Like clockwork.
Anyhow, I got you a little something.
You shouldn't have. Oh, thank you. Piano notes by Charles Rosen, one of my favorite pianists. Signed it?
I met him in a lecture once. Jewish, too.
I didn't know you were coming. I didn't...
It's a peace offering. No hard feelings?
No hard feelings. So, what are you playing now?
Brahms Concerto
I love that one.
for the concerto competition. Tomaine thinks that you should accompany me for the preliminaries.
Not such a great idea.
Definitely not.
Except,
Oh, come on, Lindenbaum.
I really did enjoy playing the Kreutzer with you. So, how about we just read through the Brahms? No ice cream or anything. And there are no repeats.
What fun is that?
Or maybe some Prokofiev or Bartok?
Bartok? Little boy's growing a pair.
Always had him. And Terry can turn pages.
I'll check my calendar.
Don't push it.
Everything going well between you two?
Sure, Dad.
Good.
No. Avram, I won't have this.
Rebekah.
Don't Rebecca me, Avram. It's Rebecca this, Rebecca that, always shutting me up and patting me on the head like a little lapdog.
What's going on?
Guys, don't fight. Not tonight.
Can't you be polite to our guests?
Your guest, Avram. David's guest. No one here is my guest.
Of course you can invite a guest.
And what guest would I invite? Cooped up in this house all day, hardly any friends except a few from working at shul. My husband fooling around with some bimbo in Germany where no good Jew should set foot.
So sorry. Maybe I should go.
Stop. Everybody stop.
I will not stop. I will be seen.
I'll call a cab.
I can drive you.
Screw off.
No. I want everybody to stay. This is my house, too. And you're my mother, you're my father, you're my best friend, and you're a very good violinist. And on this, my father's last Shabbat, my father's last week in his own house, this Erev Hanukkah, this Erev Shabbat, this Christmas Eve, we will light the menorah, we will exchange gifts, and then at sundown, we'll light the candles for Shabbat, sip the wine, say the Kiddush, and sit down and eat challah as friends.
No, we will do no such thing.
Mom, there are 613 mitzvot. One of them says you must welcome the stranger.
Quite right, son. Is that all right with you, Rebekah?
What choice do I have?
Now, Terry, when it's time, I want you to light the shamash. That's the tall candle in the center of the menorah. And on each night, it's used to light the others.
Whoa, a Gentile should not light the Hanukkah candles.
Just once, Mom.
Quite right.
So what do I do?
You take a lighter and you light the shamash.
Isn't that burning your house down? Kinda?
It's allowed until we light the candles for Shabbat.
That could burn your house down.
We're insured. No, I'll tell you when. This being Friday, the Hanukkah Blessings come first.
Okay, so if we have time, can I please say something to everybody?
Please.
I just want to say thank you, Mr. and Mrs. L, for letting me stay here while my folks are away, so I can learn about my best friend forever, David's culture, which, being an atheist and a Lutheran, I don't know squat about. So I got a few gifts for everybody, including this thing, in case Mrs. L, you'd like to start a collection of your own. And so Merry Christmas and Merry Hanukkah, everyone.
Merry Christmas in this house.
Rebekah.
How about Happy Christmaka?
It's Happy Hanukkah, dork.
Right. Happy Hanukkah, dork. Good Yom Tov. Mazel Tov. Shabbat Shalom. Also, Chag Samayach. What?
That's Hag Sameach, son.
I knew that. So, Chag Sameach.
Hag Sameach. Yes.
Chag Sameach.
Sameach.
Terry, it's time.
Very good, son. Take charge.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, vetzivanu lehadlik ner shel Hanukkah.
This is so cool.
Amen.
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 Next morning, Christmas, I took Terry to shul.
Do I look all right? How did it...
We'll walk.
That's work. Why don't we drive?
No, that's work.
Weird. You sure they'll let me in?
You with me. They're very accepting.
Do I have to do that, like, rock back and forth thingy? What if I gotta pee?
Synagogues have bathrooms. Just sit, listen, and cover your head. No, not a baseball cap, you moron. Something more dignified.
Dude, I'm not into hats. Cute little cap.
It's not... All right, keep it. Merry Christmas.
But all I got for you was a tub of sour cream for those latkes.
Latkes. It was the thought. And it really was nice for Elena to make them for us. We can't cook on Shabbat.
Dude, they're so good. Really greasy. So, check it out. Terry Michaels, honorary Jew. When do I sing Havi Nagala?
Just don't embarrass me. So, first semester was over. Dad took me shopping for my piano. But buying a piano isn't like buying a TV. It needs extra tunings, has to stabilize. So, even though Mom didn't like it, I spent hours at Carolyn's Beckstein, where she had that bee voiced by the best tech in town.
And when I got home from work, I could hear your music dancing in the other room.
She's an awesome cellist, too. We did Beethoven, Brahms, Rachmaninoff. She even invited Elena to play a few of the Dvorak trios. And best of all, I got A's in all my music classes, including my lessons with Tamansky.
Mitigating circumstances.
I even passed chem with a C, thanks to 2 weeks of coaching from Terry. A lot of other things started changing too. First, I went back to that restaurant and apologized to the pastry chef. Jewish law says if you wrong someone, you must apologize 3 times. The lady thought it was pretty funny for some kid to travel 2 hours by bus just to apologize over a dessert, but she gave me a kiss and made up this awesome care package for Terry and me.
Dude, you should apologize to pastry chefs more often.
Last and most difficult, I owed one more person a visit.
David.
Hi, Mom. Haven't been here in a while.
Of course not. I'm only your mother.
Mom. How have you been?
I'll survive.
I mean, since Dad...
I don't know what you mean by dad. There is no dad here.
Mom, let it go already.
David, the Torah has 3 rules for a husband's duties to his wife: food, clothing, and you're not old enough.
Mom, I'm not a kid anymore.
David, if I live to be 120, you'll still be a kid. Anyhow, your father did fine with the first 2, food and clothing. The other, not so great.
But now you can find someone else.
You men, all alike. If there's anything I learned from those years with your father, there are things besides men. You remember your teacher, Jonah Solomon?
He's a man?
Yes, David. He doesn't interest me that way. But this teacher has been saying for years I should start a business. A bakery.
You never said anything.
5 years ago, your father was in Amsterdam, you were on a school trip, and I forgot to cancel your lesson. So nothing to do, I made a chocolate babka. I nearly threw it out because I had no one to share it with. Then Solomon came at his time. I made tea, and we stuffed ourselves. The little ones were so mad, we hardly saved them any. But Solomon said it was the best babka he had ever tasted. I must open a bakery. And for the first time in years, I felt someone truly appreciated me.
Dad appreciated your cooking.
He did not.
You're baking then.
He tolerated my baking. But from then on, Solomon was always in the neighborhood. Got finished early last lesson, somebody canceled.
So, all this time you were trying out recipes on my teacher?
We both put on weight.
Definitely he did, not you. You discussed this with Dad?
Of course not. All those trips, eating who knows what, shopping who knows what, me trapped here in Aguna. I asked him 3 times for the get. And he kept putting me off. Children this, career that. When he just wanted me at his convenience. Then, this latest shiksa, I put my foot down.
Mom, it's over. You're free.
Free? I don't even know my name anymore. Rebekah Lindenbaum or Rebekah Feinstein. With him, at least I felt safe.
So what if Jonah's right, and your babka's the best in the country? He's had plenty to compare it to.
David, what if I fail?
What if you succeed?
Why did I hold you back from what you wanted? Because it wasn't safe. And here I am, tired of being safe.
No. You were right. All these kids finishing school, loans, no jobs. So I met my advisor, Mr. Waldvogel, and he said, I don't know what dismays me more, business students who don't take courses in things they like, or arts majors who take nothing practical. So I just declared a minor in accounting.
Smart guy, this Waldvogel. Is he Jewish?
Mom, Terry's driving me back to school.
Now, of course, I don't do fancy desserts like that restaurant with your father, but
Not all this! I'll get fat!
samples. Eat half. Give the rest to Waldvogel, Tomansky, or Eleanor Goldberg.
Elena Guerriero.
Also, that goy with the spaghetti sauce. Much too skinny. What? I don't get a kiss? Shaina Mishugana, Kleina Yiddische Voka.
two of the hardest mitzvot are not to bear a grudge and not to cherish hatred in one's heart. It took me a while, but around Pesach, I finally understood that unless I accepted my parents and classmates for who they were, I would never be a good Jew. My mother finally took Jonah's advice. She hired a consultant, Mrs. Bansali, who was really impressed Mom had a Ganesha in her house, because whenever a Hindu wants to start a business, they pray to their Ganesha for luck.
You're supposed to feed him sweets. That's why he's so fat. Here.
Hamantashen!
Lakshmi is teaching me Indian spices, and I'm inventing some new varieties, like a lime curd filling.
Linden! Did you know that Lindenbaum was German for a linden or a lime tree?
Yes, of course, David. And this is flavored with cardamom and orange flower water, then sprinkled with pistachios.
Mom, it's awesome! Also, Rachel got into Yale. And the twins, they'll be bar mitzvahed if they can ever stop playing practical jokes on the cancer. And my father is so happy with Carolyn that at last I have a father and not this monument. As for me, I found this new girlfriend, a clarinetist in my theory class, named Amy Rosen. And you never know.
Hey, watch it, dumbass. Oh, the dumbass roommate.
Hey, where do you get off? 2360 SATs, 3.8 GPA, double major in poli-sci and physics.
Physics. I thought you needed a brain for that.
I got an exemption.
Are you still rooming with?
Yeah. He calls me his Shabbos Goy. I'm in charge of the light switch. Hard work.
He's so funny.
Keeps me in shape.
Looks like there's something nice under that shirt.
Likewise. Hey, did you and he ever,
I can never tell.
He wouldn't either. Say, you want to get some ice cream? They got this great bacon cherry pistachio at Zune's. And,
Oh, wait. Only if it's kosher.
My name is David Lindenbaum. I'm a piano major, finishing my first year in college. And among the people who matter most to me are my father, Avram, his girlfriend, Carolyn, my mother, Rebekah, my sister and little twin brothers, my roommate, Terry, and my piano teacher, Professor Tomansky, and finally, Elena, the girl that I wanted more than any other, the girl that jeered at me, threw herself at me, made wonderful music with me, and finally understood that she could never have a life with me. Because even though I don't always understand, or can explain, or can expect others to understand all that is expected of me by the Lord my God, I, David Lindenbaum, am above all else a Jew.
Recording stopped.
Thank you all for joining us this evening. We really appreciate you coming and being a part of our performance. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bravo, everybody. Bravo.
Hey.
Wonderful performance. I loved it.
Thank you.
I even got a little teary at the end. It was great.
Thank you, Eva.
Wonderful, Larry. Great job.
Great. Thank you all so much.
Yeah, really great. Thank you for doing this.
Okay. I guess that'll be all for tonight. We weren't planning a talk back, so I think we'll just call it an evening. And any thoughts you may have that you might want to convey, through the chat or message me, that will be very much appreciated. Valerie, how do you want to wrap up?
Well, thank you all for joining us on this Sunday night, Frank, Larry. I'm so glad we were able to do this. For everybody watching, I mean, we're going to be doing To Sir with Love on Thursday. If you would like to join us, that will be also streaming as well. And we just, if you're new to the group, if you took part of this reading and you still want to do readings with the company, I mean, we do it every Thursday, and we're doing a lot of kind of sporadic one-offs throughout the month. And I'd like to think it's a good time. I don't know what everybody else thinks, but you're always welcome now to take a part of the read. You're part of the family, and anybody that was watching, if you want more information about the company, we're on social media, and feel free to follow. The group is open to anybody. You do not have to be an actor to take part. If you want to read a part in a movie or a play or a radio play or whatever, I mean, the floor is yours. That's what this is all about. So hopefully we'll see you back, or if you're new and you want to learn more, doors always open. And this has been wonderful. Thank you very much for this wonderful play, Larry. This was great.
Thank you so much.
Direction, cast was great. Yeah, it was a joy.
Bravo. Brava.
Brava.
Well, thank you to the cast. Thank you to the audience. Val, Larry, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure. And everybody have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And I look forward to working with you all again in the future.
Yeah, good. And I hope everybody's keeping safe.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping safe and healthy. Well, all right, everybody. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Good night.
Thanks, you too.
Good night.
Hi, everyone. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you, Frank, Larry. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Yes, thank you, Frank, and thank you, Larry. This has been a lot of fun.
Thank you so much, guys.
Okay.
Larry, you look great, by the way.
Thanks. Okay, I guess we're going to shut the meeting now.
Okay, thanks again.
Okay.
Great seeing you all.
You too.
Great show.